And the BAFTA goes to Danny Boyle.
We are hugely indebted, all of us, everybody who you've honoured and those you've nominated tonight, to the people of Mumbai. No, I'd never been to India before I made the film. I'd always wanted to go there because I've been really interested. We went on an exploratory trip, which is sort of like pre-commitment almost in a way. It's finding out whether you can actually feasibly do it. Also, it's finding out, which you do very quickly, is whether it's honest. A director is a controller. You're a control freak. You bring a crew, you look at a bit of life, you stop it in its tracks, and then you recreate it, positioning your technicians around it to capture it, and you repeat it endlessly until you've got it just how you want it. You can't do that with India. It's uncontrollable. So it was a real international feel of the film.
Was there any concern in your mind about a Westerner going to India making a movie about India?
I was a bit naive, really. I think when you look at it now and you look at me and Simon and you think, how can we go there and make a film? There's so many reasons why you shouldn't do it, really, in many ways. But I think we were both caught up so much by the place that you sense the generosity of the place, and you live off that, really.
I want to ask a little bit about the slums. Half the city's population lives in slums or shantytowns. I'm curious of how that influenced the creation of the script and how it informed the movie that you ended up making.
Well, it was going to Bombay and wandering around the slums. I started in documentaries, that's my background, and I felt as a white middle-class English person, you can't just parachute yourself into this environment and say, we're going to make a film about this, everybody, okay?
Instead of being intrusive and sort of taking over people's lives or stopping their lives, what actually that's something that Danny spoke of in great detail, and I think that we tried to follow it to the best that we could, was to become a part of that life, to try and capture the beauty of that life the way it exists. Youngest kids were so were from the slums. They needed to be spirited, they needed to be much more alive in the script in order to convince, of the essence of the film, that I convinced Danny to do it in Hindi. And once we did that, he said to me, then you have to write it. And then as we were edging closer to the shoot of the film, he said to me, come on board as the co-director. And that, was amazing.
I wrote this book in 2 months flat, in the last 2 months of my posting, then way back in 2003. Obviously, the film is different from the book, and I knew this from the very beginning. I think what's important is the framing device, the central framing device of the film is the same as that of the book, and I think that is the strength of the film as well. Really, I was very struck by the way Danny has portrayed India, and portrayed Mumbai in particular. I think, he brings an outsider sensibility to that project, and sometimes it's good to look at you through an outsider's eyes, and Danny has said that himself. I think it's a very unique way in which he has presented Mumbai. And people say, the film is about the slums of India and things like that. I don't agree. Yes, it does show a slice of India, and yes, it shows a somewhat extreme slice of India, because films, are bound to be slightly larger than life. But eventually, the film, like the book, is about hope, it's about survival, it's about redemption.
Nominated for this Academy Award.
Paper Planes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like it's kind of stirred up some emotions. People couldn't work it out, and I think it was subversive for some people, and it was too obvious for other people, and everyone constantly asks me what it's about, and they're like, are you a terrorist? And it's like, no. Yeah. It's like, that has nothing to do with it, and it could be about gun corporations selling guns and making billions of dollars, or it could be about immigrants coming over and being like the scary other that's going to take everyone's jobs.